See that Dr. Vishwambhar Prasad Sati is present. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, I'm ready. Yeah.
Over to you.
Okay. Very good afternoon to all of you and the respected co-chair. Today, I am going to present a paper on management of natural resources for sustainable rural livelihood in Mizoram, the eastern extension of the Himalaya. The major contents of my presentation will be socio-economic status, natural resources availability and use pattern, and management of natural resources for sustainable livelihood. So before that, I'm going to talk about the natural resources and their use pattern and management. I would like to show you here one very important data, that is socio-economic status. And there are two these areas you can see. One is gray area and one is green area. So the gray area is that agricultural land is only 4%. And because most of the people are depending on cultivating agriculture for running their livelihood. And this Human Development Index is 0.57, less than the India's average. And people living below poverty line is very high than to the national average, that is 35.43%. And as well as the per capita income of this region is very low. It is 85,000, while in India it is 94,000. So the data is little bit 2016. So there are radical changes, but the whole data I'm showing you from that period only. But the green area, this is very, very important, and that can be used for the enhancement of rural livelihood after a sustainable use of the green areas resources. Literacy rate is very high, and this area is the second largest in terms of the literacy. And also forest area is 91% according to 2011 data. Now there is some decrease in forest area, but it is very huge forest area in this region. And then also when you talk about environmental sustainability index, it is 80 to 100%. So the environmental quality is very, very high, because you can see 91% area is under forest area. Therefore, it is very healthy climate. So people can enjoy this climate. I will talk about how we can develop tourism for livelihood sustainability in this region. And if you see also per capita land, it is very high than to the national average, and per capita forest land is also very high, because the people living in this area is only 52 persons living per square kilometer. So density of the population is very less. When you see here the forest area, because this is all hilly region called the eastern extension of the Himalaya, and you can see the first and second picture, it is all bamboo forest. And there are about 27 species of bamboo, and very useful, but it is unused, because it is all located in a very, very remote area, inaccessible area, and it is always unused. So the third and fourth is, this third one is the pine forest. And pine is very, very useful forest for all this resin, but it is all unused. But there are some patches where the government of the Mizoram has started planting teak forest, though it is climatically not suitable, but its economic viability is very high, and that the government is getting lots of revenue out of this teak forest. This forest use pattern is also there at the village level, but very small. Very few people are involving in this. That bamboo products for agriculture goods or some other household things also. but we can enhance this because lots of potentiality is there. Keeping in the environmental sustainability in view, we can enhance this. The small scale industry we can develop. I will come this later on, but use pattern is also very less. When we see the water resources, average annual rainfall is very, very high. It is 2,400 millimeter. So it is one of the area, the world highest rainfall area. And also river canals also huge. They are 1,400 kilometer. This rivers length also. They are perennial rivers. And area underwater bodies is 12 square kilometer. Mizoram has potential of 4,500 megawatt hydroelectricity power project potential. They have potential to construct. But if you see that out of this much potential of hydroelectricity generation, they are using only 29.35 megawatt electricity they are generating. This is only 0.7% of the total potential they have. These are the rivers. Many rivers, they are flowing northward, southwards, eastward, westwards. And because this area is very, very geostrategically very important, because Myanmar is covering from two sides, east and south, and Bangladesh is covering it from, bordering it from west side. So very long, this international boundary it is covering. But if you see the rivers, there are many rivers inside. And Mizoram has also lots of many wetland areas. They have highland lakes, and they have many perennial rivers here. They very, very, very huge area under wetlands, but you see that the scarcity of water at the same time. This is the highly getting the high rainfall, and also there are perennial rivers, but they are getting lots of scarcity of water, particularly during the 4 months of dry season. November, December, January, and February. Other 8 months, there are heavily rainfall occurred. And this is because of that the settlements located in the top of the hills. So they have tendency that they will not construct their settlements in the middle altitudes or in the also the valley regions. So therefore, the water availability in the top of the hill is very less. It is available in the valley regions, but they have their settlements on the top, so that they receive mainly the water scarcity in 4 months and also other months also. If you see the climatic conditions here, it is very healthy climatic conditions. If you see the average annual temperature, it is 21.6 degrees centigrade. Highest is 26 degree and lowest is 16.55. So it is one of the most important states, not only in India, but in the world, where the climatic conditions is very, very conducive. And it is said that when you visit Mizoram for 1 week, you can span your life, this life here one week more. And also when you visit for 1 year, you can span your life for 1 year, because the climatic conditions and also the environmental sustainability index is very, very good, very conducive. That is one of the actually the drivers for tourism development, for sustainable livelihood, and one of the resources. Climate is one of the very good resource for this region. So if you see here, one very important, this is land resources, and this is called the zooming practices, zooming cultivation. People practice here. So they cut the forest in the first picture you can see, then they burn it, and then that person who is marginal farmer or Jomia, he is seeding the seedling the seeds, and then production is very less. So if you see the production in the last, if you see the cyclic nature also, you see that production is very, very less in this shifting cultivation. But most out of the total 4% area, they have arable land, more than 50% under shifting cultivation. So that is one of the problem for this region, and they are not, they are poor also. The farmers are very poor because they are practicing this. But on the other hand, if you see the wet rice cultivation as a land resource, so there is potential. And these valley regions and floodplains have lots of wet rice cultivation, but area is very less. It is only 1% of the total area of Mizoram is under wet rice cultivation. So it has future potential. And we are talking about that we can develop this land resource for wet rice cultivation. in future, the future potential. This figure also shows the trends of rainfall, that is increasing trends. And if you see the R square value, rainfall is increasing here in this eastern extension of the Himalaya. But if you go to the western Himalayan part, rainfall is decreasing. So there is high variability, and they are affecting the livelihood of the people because they are affecting the crop productions and yield. So I will skip this. I don't want to talk about this. Is people perception about how to use the natural resources for their sustainable livelihood. I will skip this. So I will talk about the management of natural resources for sustainable livelihood. So we have this. What we suggest is that to develop this small scale forest based industries as village level without affecting the forest, and forest area. That can be done because there are many forest resources, they are unused because they are inaccessible. That can be made accessible, and that can be used for products, for handlooms, and for furniture also. Because there are some forest types, they are economically very viable, and we can do it. So also what we can do is that because the shifting cultivation is no more useful for livelihood sustainability because population is growing, and the production and productivity coming out from the shifting cultivation is very low. What we can do is that cultivation of fruits, banana, orange, lychee, mango, guava, papaya, and pineapples are very much suited for the climate of this region. And the people, they grow it for domestic uses, not for the market. And market is also one of the problems because this is very, this area is located remotely. Any problem? So can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, your time is almost up, sir.
Okay, it is how many minutes here?
Well, you're already a little over.
I am over already. Okay, so I am just going to conclude. These are some crops grow there. Now they have started terracing this shifting cultivation. There is scope for dairy farming, and then also value addition is processing. Value addition and processing centers we can start in the rural areas that will add value addition in the production, and that will be good for their sustainable. These are some tourism we can develop, the farm tourism, leisure tourism, and also health tourism, because the climate and people also very peaceful people living there that can enhance their economy, tourism development, and these are some products out of it. This is one of the this model for sustainable livelihood using this natural resources. But I understand your point because I'm already over time. So I thank you very much. These are some publications in this region, many publications coming. Thank you very much for giving me this time. Yeah.
Thank you very much.